Hey guys, hope that you are having a great day. Hey, my goal is to always bring you relevant information, not just advertise and say, who do you know want to buy real estate, but really give you information that can help you. I got off a call 5 minutes ago with our company on our weekly call, and we had one of our great lenders, Sean Meehan with Legacy Mutual. He and John Trout work together. John and I have done business together for 10 years or so. And we had a really good call that talked about some of the misunderstandings about forbearance. I've seen some posts online about forbearance, and many of them have been completely inaccurate and pretty dangerous. So I wanted to give you some updates of what was on that call. I'm not a lender, I'm an agent, but I heard from some of the great lenders this morning, and so I really wanted to clear some of that up. So forbearance, I've heard some people online liken it to the stimulus, like it is a forgiven loan, that it is taking care of your mortgage. That is really a last-ditch effort. If you are unable to pay your mortgage, that is when you may look at that. But if you are able in any other way to pay your mortgage, that is the best way to go. Now, loans that qualify for forbearance are any that are made by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, USDA, VA, which is about 85% of the loans that are out there. Jumbo loans do not qualify for forbearance. Now, what is forbearance? It is basically a pause or a coverage for your mortgage for 180 days. So for 6 months, that covers or pauses your mortgage. Now, what a lot of folks, again, are not understanding is that forbearance, at the end of that 6 months, that 6 months worth of payments are due, okay? So we're talking about, let's say your mortgage is $1,000 a month. You're paused for 6 months. All of a sudden in that 7th month, you've got 1,000 times 6, plus your next payment. So you may very well have your $1,000 payments then do $7,000 on that 7th month, okay? So let's just look at it realistically. If you didn't have the 1,000, you're probably not going to have the 7,000 to pay in the 7th month. Now, forbearance can also be paused at any time. So if you needed it for 2 months, there's a possibility of going in, setting that up, using it for that 2 months, paying it back. But again, please remember, this is not a forgiven amount of money. So this is not, you may have heard about these loans for small businesses or the stimulus that are partially or completely forgiven. That is not what forbearance is, okay? So it can be done in 2 6-month increments. So you could have a total of 6 months, then reapply, then get up to another 6 months. But again, you are paying that money back. So do not mistake it as free money, okay? Now, the forbearance sign-up procedure is pretty simple. There's no documentation needed that you are in a financial hardship. We've heard about folks being able to do it on the phone, get through it pretty quickly. Let's see, some of them, now there is a difference, some mortgages are also allowing you to defer. If you're going to do that, make sure that you know crystal clear how they're doing that. Some banks are offering a deferment, but it is showing up on your credit. And some of them are adding your payments that were not made to the end of the mortgage, which could increase your payments going forward. So make sure that you are crystal clear on how that is going to work for you. Again, forbearance, look at it as a last resort if there is no other way to pay your mortgage. Let's see here. I also wanted to mention, there have also been some changes in the qualifications of how buyers are qualified for different loans. So I saw this recently on a deal last week where all of a sudden with some of the changes, the buyer was no longer approved or was put on pause until some of this shakes loose. So for example, FHA mortgages used to require a minimum of a 580 credit score. That is now at 640, so that's a pretty significant jump in credit score qualifications. VA jumped from 600 to 640, USDA from 580 to 640. Conventional stayed the same at 620. Rates are still great in the 3.375 range. FHA still at about 3.5%. Many of the jumbos are paused for now. You can check with your lender about specifics in your situation. Again, make sure that on deferment versus forbearance, you are crystal clear if you are signing up for either of those. Forbearance, again, be extremely careful with that. That is not, I think I've said it now 8 times, that is not free money. So I just want to make crystal clear that you are protected on that, or that there is no misunderstanding on that, okay? Again, if you do have to go the route of forbearance, that can be paused at any time. It can be done every other month. So if you're not able to make this month's payment, but you can make next month's, but you need it on the next, that can be paused. So keep that in mind, that if you do have to go that route, you are not locked into the 6 months or the 12 months, okay? Now, keep in mind, I did this on my personal house. I don't have a mortgage on the property, but I wanted to have access to cash for if something unforeseen happened. So about several months ago, I got a home equity line of credit on my house, okay? So what that does is about 80% of the value of my house is available if I needed to get to it, okay? So if you are in a situation where you've got quite a bit of equity in your house, that is something to discuss with your local bank. In my situation, I went to my local bank. It does require an appraisal, so it pushed it out about 30 days. But I've got that money sitting there if I need it. So again, if you are in a situation where you are needing money or you cannot make your payment, just be so careful about how you're looking at those options, okay? I can get you hooked up with some great folks that can give you some advice, but now more than ever, I want to be a valuable resource and give you things that can help you. I don't want any of you coming to me in 6 months or a year and saying, holy cow, how did I get wrapped up in this? I didn't realize this was the situation. So I just want you to know I'm here for you now more than ever. I want to help you get through this, and we're going to all figure this out together. But in the meantime, again, be so careful. My email's there at the bottom. If you've got questions, you can also call me. Again, I'm not a lender, but I'm kind of the source of the source. I work with some of the best. And I can get you hooked up with several people that can give you some advice. Love you guys. I'm cheering for you. Some of you that are hurting, I'm hurting with you, and I understand that this is a tense time, and my little part is to help you through that part. I'll see you soon.